This instrument right here, the conga, man, it's dear to my heart. I'm phobic. When I was a kid, I split my head open and they did the whole thing with and I got afraid of needles. This drum is so powerful that I put it on my arm. And I'm afraid of needles. But this thing right here took my soul. Grabbed it, took my soul, and I love conga drums. I love them. They're unbelievable. This changed my life around. Remember when I was telling you guys that I was in a really kind of hard place with drums and not happy? I sat down at this instrument and I played it, and that was it. I put my drums away and I got a pair of congas and I practiced 8, 9, 10 hours a day on this instrument. So this is a really amazing instrument, really amazing. I love congas. But honestly, every instrument is important. And I was talking to the trumpet teacher, and let me tell you something. I'm so proud and so happy to hear that he has his students learning timbales and learning congas and learning bongos, and they play trumpet. That's very important for all of the students that want to learn how to play Latin music, who want to learn how to play like Afro-Cuban music, Afro-Caribbean music. It's very important because the foundation of the instrument, the foundation of everything is the percussion, the conga. Not the bass drum, not the hi-hat, not the kick snare hat, not 2 and 4, not rock and roll. The conga. I'm going to play a little bit of this drum now. Since you asked. Okay. Now listen, guys, I just woke up. I haven't really warmed up, so I'm going to warm up a little bit. Okay, is this on? No? No, okay. Okay, so first things first. Does anybody know where this instrument is from? Okay, hold on. I have one. Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Samuel Rodriguez. I love this guy. That's okay. We don't need that. Oh, talk? Okay. Yeah. Hey, can I get this thrown down a little bit? I need a key. Drum key? You have a drum key? Your drum key? Okay, so back to this question. Okay, don't everybody scream out the name. I'm going to ask one person. You, sir, right here. The one that you right here that you're like this. Where is this? Where are these drums from? They're not from McAllen, bro. Told you not to yell it out, bro. Okay, this gentleman right here, he got it right. These drums are from Cuba. Now, there's a very big misconception about these instruments. People think that they're from Africa. Why? Okay, let me explain. No. Listen. Honestly, truth. Here, this is education here. Africa is the mother of everything. That land is sacred. You step on that land, it's different. I've been there many times, and let me tell you, it's an amazing place. The people are incredible. Listen, bro, come on, stop laughing. Give me a second. Listen to what I'm telling you. Africa is an amazing place. It's a very spiritual land. It's very, very incredible. From the second that you get there to the second you leave, you want to go back. The rhythm, the music, the way the people are, they're such amazing people. Very incredible. Very, very much so like our people. Like our people that are native people. Like the people, in the ranch. My grandmother, my grandfather, they're from the rancho. You go there and you see those people from the ranch. They're humble people. They don't have anything and they'll give you everything. Te lo dan todo. They'll give you your shirt, whatever. Everything. Amazing. Same thing. Africa had a big influence on the world musically. Their rhythm, their drums. When the slaves went from West Africa into the Caribbean, their whole religion, their everything preserved in Cuba. So from that whole movement is the conga drum is born from that. So tumbadora, the conga, is from Cuba, taken from an African drum, but this is Cuban. Yeah, please. So we have. They're normally a set of three. It's a family of three. The lower drum is called a tumbadora, tumba, and then we have the middle voice, which is called a conga. And then we have a higher, smaller drum that's called a quinto. So, tumba, conga, quinto. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Okay, everybody knows Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune? Here's the wheel. $1 million. So, tumbadoras, congas, very amazing instrument. How many sounds, for all the people that are studying congas and are interested, how many sounds do you think you should be able to produce from one drum? Okay, hold on. You, sir. 3. No. 4. Menos. 1,000. How did you guess? Man, amazing. No, to just start learning this instrument, 6. You have a bass tone, you have an open tone, you have a mute tone, you have a slap tone, you have a closed slap, and you have an open slap. You need to learn those 6 tones to start to be able to learn how to play this instrument, to play a song, to play rhythms. So, bass tone. Open tone. Mute, muffle. Slap. Close slap. Open slap. Those 6 tones are in every rhythm that you'll play and you'll learn. And there's 1,000 rhythms. There's more. But that is the beginning of this instrument. It's very meticulous. It's very hard. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. This instrument is difficult. But what's not difficult in life? It's as difficult. Life is as difficult as we make it. So, practice. Practice makes better. Doesn't make perfect. That doesn't exist. Practice makes better. So, I'm just going to play for any conga. Anybody interested in congas here? Anybody? Yeah. Is that you? Is that a male or female? Come on over here, buddy. Come on over here. Anybody else? Anybody? Listen. And he's tall. Jesus. Wow. Okay, so this is important for a person who really wants to learn how to play this instrument. Position of your hands, everything. Bass. First of all, this is how you sit. You have to be able to lift the conga with your heels. So you sit with your back straight, hands to your side like this, and then you're going to just place your hands like this. And then the middle of the skin, you divide the middle of the skin, which you could use your fractions for math. It's a hole, and you cut it in half, and you have 2 halves. Okay. So then, you bass tone. Open tone, your knuckles are going to line up with the bearing edge here. Mute, same thing. Now when you do the slap, it comes up like this. Comes up like this, everybody. You go the open tones, your knuckles are lined up with this bearing edge of the drum. And your hands strike the drum and they leave the drum. Okay? So then the muffle tone, the mute tone, same thing. Your knuckles lined up in the bearing edge here. Now, it's like doing like that. Now the slap tone. This is the tone that makes not everybody, it makes most people frustrated, so frustrated that they take this drum back and they get a djembe. This is one of the hardest tones to draw out of this drum. Slap tone. You're looking for the syllable tak, T-A-K, tak. You hear it? Tak. Tak. Now I used to think that the harder you hit, the more that sound and the quicker it would come. But it's not true, actually. It's all touch. So you bring your knuckles above the bearing edge, and now the middle of your palm is here. Okay. Then, same thing for the close slap. You bring your hand here. Same thing as the slap. Then the open slap, same thing. So, exercise. Just eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. You got it, Christopher. You want to try? You want to try? All right. Okay, Christopher's a little bit taller than me, not by much. So you normally would have the stool a little lower. That's cool. But so bass tone. Nope. It's okay. It's okay. It's not as easy as it seems, everybody. That was a bass tone. That's it, bro. That's it. Hey, come on. Okay. Here we go. Quickly. Bass tone. Nope. Whole hand. No, Whole hand. Yep. Okay, open. Good. Now you cut. No, straight. Good. Okay, muffle. Good. Hey. Yeah, first one. Good. Good. Now watch this. Slap tone. We could do this for about 40 hours and he'll never get it. But let me tell you why, though. Let me explain to you why. So if you look at my hands, they're already acclimated for this drum and for drawing those sounds out. So you have to have, your skin has got to be acclimated to, it's got to be hard, it's got to have callus, you just, no strength. So when I started trying to learn that tone, I played 500 slap tones per hand on a wooden stool every day of my life for about 5 years. Now I got it within I don't know, let's say a month, but to get it to come back and to be there all the time, every time I just, even still to this day, I'll sit down with the wooden stool and I'll try to do 500 of them a day per hand. Just watching the Cowboys beat the stupid Green Bay Packers. Or any other team. You know what I'm saying? And I'll do that. Just whatever. But you know what? That's how I practice now sometimes. Anyway, so close slap. Okay. Same thing. Okay. You won't get that one either, but it's just the same slap. Now open slap. No. Focus on these on your fingertips and slap it. Slap it like it owes you a lot of money. Wow. If anybody needs money, Okay. These slap tones, I'm telling you, they are hard, and it comes with a lot of practice. Give it up for Christopher right here. So, the next order of business with the conga drum is it's a technique that's called heel tip, or ube. Very important to this drum because it's the technique. It's how you play songs. It's everything. You know, like it's kind of like for a brass instrumentalist, your diaphragm, your air, everything having to do with that, so the instrument can sound. Trumpet players, trombone players, all that. So it's called upe, or heel tip, and here it is. It all starts here. Thank you. So now the practical use for that would be this. This is called marcha, called tumbao. Say marcha. So all songs and all rhythms that are Afro-Cuban based have this. So you play son montuno, guaguancó, anything, you have this. Okay, so that's the foundation of congas. Just those 6 tones and this, the marcha. That's how we play congas in a Latin setting, salsa. Cumbia is different. Now, I'm glad you said cumbia. Where is cumbia from? Huh? From Brownsville? Now, don't laugh at that. There is a kind of cumbia that's from Brownsville. Heck yeah, we have our own way here. Shoot. Cumbia is a folkloric rhythm and music from Colombia. From Colombia. It's a very interesting rhythm. You know, the way we play it here regionally, you know, we have our own spin-off of cumbia, and let me tell you something. It's a different flavor, but it's still cumbia, very great. But if you guys, you know, I didn't grow up with Google or YouTube. There was not. I don't think there was even computers when I was a kid. We have the internet, man. Google cumbia, Google Colombian cumbia folklore, and watch the videos of the people in Colombia, the folkloric people in Colombia, playing cumbia, and how it is. They have, you know how we play a cowbell on one, and then we open a hi-hat? Well, we use a cowbell and a hi-hat, but the people from Colombia use a thing called a guaje, and it's a cylinder that's made of aluminum filled with like rocks or pebbles or whatever, and they go Who would have ever thought that it was a cylinder full of rocks? We play a cowbell and a hi-hat. It's really amazing. So you guys research that stuff, since you have the world at your fingertips now. Check that out. So these are, any questions about congas? Huh? No? Perfect. Moving on. Yes, sir. These are rawhide. It's cow skin. And normally there's either, I think they use buffalo. Some companies use buffalo. But for the most part, it was always cow skin for the traditional drums for congas. Yes, they do, especially for more of the folkloric stuff. The thicker the skin, that's kind of the sound that they had. The drums, after a while, when you put the pressure on the lugs, this is as hard as a tabletop with all the amount of pressure that there is. So they would use the thicker skins, and when you do this traditionally, you put the big old skin in water and you let it soak overnight. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Cow skin. Yeah. Both of these are. Some people use mule skin, and those are the thicker ones, but it's got a certain distinct sound for like folkloric rhythms in Cuba stuff. That's a nice question. Now, they also make them synthetic now, which for Brownsville is ideal because we have such a tropical weather here that, the fact that I can do that without having to wet my fingers to, it's because it's so humid here that you can feel the humidity on the heads. And if you were going to, the tuning of these drums when you're playing traditional salsa or Latin music is a middle C and a G below middle C. That's the tuning for the congas in salsa. So when you have them tuned, ready to play, you might be able to get through a tune without them detuning, but after the tune, you're more than likely going to have to tune. Yes, sir.
Were you able to identify the synthetic head from a natural head?
That really depends on the player. If the player knows how to play those heads and tune them, you can't tell too much. The only thing that it does is it enhances the sound, and you don't have to work as hard. So when you're playing rawhide heads, you're really... You wouldn't have to play that hard with a synthetic head because the sound would be louder, and it would be... So the harder you hit a synthetic head, it does the opposite. The sound kind of cancels out. So you have to learn how to play with those skins as well. And when I tune congas, I always... So there's a big difference there. Can I borrow that wrench that's on the timbal there? So I always like to tune the harmonic. So sometimes you won't get them exact, but it's also every part of the skin that's being pulled is... Yes, sir. No, you try to get them as close as possible. Yeah, that way the drum sounds like it's completely in tune, the head. And you can tell a lot when you do like those tones, because they'll sound like half tones. Even like on timbales, you can tell when the heads are very old and they're not in tune. When you strike the rim shot, it sounds like there's quarter tones, like it's not very soothing to the ear. So, yeah. So the synthetic heads are great for weather down here in Brownsville. Yesterday when we were playing out in the festival, we were outdoors, and the bongos were so low because they had real rawhide heads on them, and man, they sound like this. It was pretty amazing. But that's what happens in a tropical climate. So, any other questions about congas? No, we good? Yes, sir. Wow. Well, I don't know. I'm an LP. I'm a Latin percussion endorsee, and I have, let me say, in January of 2017, my percussion line is going to come out with LP. Fausto Cuevas, the third congas, bongos, and timbales. So, if anybody is, wants to get some drums, yes, sir. Yes. This is a 30-inch drum in height, and this is a 12.5-inch head around, and the circumference of this one is 11 3/4. And then the quinto would be 11, so they're 3/4 off from each other. And then folklorically, for like rumba and quinto, there's some that are 10 or 10.5, but the standard is 11 3/4, and 12.5. Yeah. Sometimes they have you'll find a 13 or even a 14, but that's a lot. So yeah. So these drums. Good. Anything else? Yes, sir. Yeah, good. All right. You said we're good. We're good. All right. Okay. So the next instrument. Sam, what time is it? How much time do we have? Okay. All right. We have 40 minutes. Anybody knows what this instrument is called? Bongo. Awesome. Very amazing instrument. It is the first instrument that was played in any sort of commercialized commercial music, dance music, son montuno, son, before the conga was the bongo. Okay? So this is a 7-inch head, this is an 8-inch head. These are synthetic heads and traditional rims, which is great. I love traditional rims. So this is how you would hold a set of bongo to play in a salsa band or any sort of Latin group. So the technique for bongo is called martillo. What's a martillo? Mm-hmm. The downbeats are very pronounced. They sound like a hammer. Bongo. So the conga plays. Two, three, four. Waka taka 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 taka. 1, 2. Taka 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 taka. Taka 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 taka. Bibi tika taka. Bibi tika kokon bibi. Bibi tika kokon bibi. Bibi, kokon bibi, kokon bibi, popon bibi, popon bibi, popon bibi, kokon tigi kata kokon kata kokon kata kokon gigi. That's how they live. Their rhythm coincides with each other. The girl with the pink bow. Yeah. Very conceptual instrument. This is by far, for me, the hardest instrument to play in a Latin setting, because there's the concept behind it. You have to know the song. You have to know the arrangement, the horn arrangement. You have to listen to the singer. You have to listen to the words. And you have to complement what the song is playing, the melody. It's not a free-for-all solo from the beginning, which unfortunately throughout the years, the tradition of bongo playing is kind of becoming a bit extinct. But it's a very beautiful instrument, and it's a very hard instrument, and I love this instrument. So I'll give some names and leave some names. If anybody wants to really see some really good, hear some good bongo players and that have been around forever, I'll leave that information so you guys can take a listen. Okay, any questions about bongos? No? About the technique or anything? Nobody wants to know anything about martillo? You all know it? It's going to be perfect if we come and play? No? Okay. There's also a bell that comes up with the bongos. So bongo and campana, it's actually, bongo, campana, güiro is what a bongocero would have to have. By the way, it's called a bongocero, a person that plays bongo, conguero, tumbador. That's the way what you call a person that plays congas. Bongos, tumbador, conguero, bongocero, and a timbalero. Now, for bongo, there's going to be a part of the song. Every song normally will go to a chorus where you play cowbell. So. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. So when you hear like Celia Cruz Carnaval, Carnaval, da, 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 Carnaval, hay que seguir cantando, Carnaval. That's the way that would accompany that song, which we'll play in a second, so you guys can hear that. Okay? All right. Cool, we're good. We're good here so far? All right. All right. Now comes the good stuff. So where is this instrument from, this guy right here? Huh? Wow. Okay. We have a lot of people that don't know their geography. Okay. Not Brazil, not Puerto Rico, not what I heard. Yeah, it's from Cuba. All of these instruments, by the way, are from Cuba. All of them. This instrument is called a what? Timbal. Does anybody know the first traditional name for this drum? Nope. Good assumption. Nope. They're called pailas. Pailas. P-A-I-L-A-S. Pailas. That's the first original drum name for this timbal. Does anybody know where this the inspiration from what drum aspired this drum to come about? Huh? Toms? No, there was no drum set at the time that this instrument was born. Not in Cuba, at least. A drum set was the last instrument that was introduced to the Afro-Cuban drum section, percussion section. So this drum was inspired by timpani. Timpani. So when the classical quartets and blah blah blah, all these big European bands would come and play in Cuba, the slaves would see the timpani. So they got their idea from the timpani and was born the paila, which are used in very danzón, very beautiful music from Cuba. Very classically inspired music with a twist, cha-cha-cha and stuff like that. Very, very, very great. So anyway, timbal. You have a 14-inch drum. The higher pitched drum is called a macho. It's called macho. And then you have the lower drum, 15-inch drum called an hembra. Macho y hembra. The same thing from the bongo, macho y hembra. Macho, hembra. You play the sides of the drums, what are these? Does anybody know what the sides of the drums are referred to as? Cascara. Good, cascara. Yeah. So, play a little bit of timbal for you guys. Imagine if I would have warmed up. Timbales. Okay. There's a lot to all that. A little bit of clave, independence with the clave, playing soloing, a little accompanying yourself a little bit. Very, very intense instrument. Even when you're playing at a double piano, you're already at a very intense level because it's stainless steel. You're hitting with sticks, and everything is metal. And hard, that means soft. That's soft. So can you imagine when there's a 10 to 15, 20-piece band behind you and you have to... So that's not, I'm not using any force. That's soft. You imagine loud? So you have to spend a lot of time on this instrument and learning the touch of it. I got a very, very good advice from a really great timbalero one time, and I said he listened to a recording that I had played a concert the night before, and he's really great percussionist and timbalero, and I said, hey man, can you give me any advice? And he goes, yeah, don't sound like a drummer playing timbales. So I didn't get it. I didn't understand. So when you play drum set, when you play other drums, you want to play through the drum because the skin has a bit more of a give. You know, boom. It's just it kind of not as punchy. These instruments are opposite. They're very much so punchy. So, and it's a bunch of rim shots that you have to learn how to play. So, you just want to basically, I'm going to play you the difference between playing hard, playing like you shouldn't play, and playing like you should play. So here's how you should play. That's correct. This is how most drummers play. That hurts my soul. That's crazy. That's loud. That's ridiculous. So, the responsibility of a timbalero is to learn the touch, learn how to play this instrument, learn how to draw the sound out of the instrument, not force the sound out of the instrument. So, I'm going to play a little bit of cascara, then I'm going to play a little a bell groove, like a mambo bell groove, and some cha-cha-cha for you guys so you guys can see. Okay? Here we go. So that was a made-up song in my head. I just made up. The part that I'm playing on the cascara would be the verse or the intro, maybe. And then I went up to this bell. This bell is called a mambo bell. Mambo bell. Salsa mambo bell. Normally, that's what you play when the chorus is in a salsa song is coming up. And then I played like a cha-cha, a caballo kind of groove, and went back to the bell, and then went back down to the cascara to close the song out. Ba-da. So these are, every salsa song is different, every tune is different, but, kind of like the sections are kind of all going to be there. Does anybody have any questions about timbales? Any people striving or thriving to be timbaleros or learning it? Nobody. That's awesome, guys. Yeah. So anyway, listen. Anybody who wants to learn Latin, whatever, trumpet, trombone, piano, bass, should all learn how to play at least congas. Because the heartbeat of Latin music is what? The congas in salsa. The clave. Everybody play clave here? Clap. 1, 2. No. Ba, ba, ba. This is called son clave. Now, does everybody know how to play rumba clave? Here it is. Pa, 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 ta, pa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2. That's called rumba clave. So the rumba clave, just on the 3 side of the clave, you're going to play the and a 4. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ta. That's called rumba clave. Son clave, which is more for son montuno, for cha-cha-cha, for anything having to do with a commercial, like people danceable music, it's son clave. Cool. Any questions? Anybody? We're good? Okay.